Hindi nila gusto si Marcoleta being in the Senate floor, asking the right questions when you talk about the impeachment trial. And of course, when you talk about voting. Kasi at the end of the day, itong impeachment trial that started yesterday already, darating tayo sa point how long it will take or how short it will take the whole proceedings of the impeachment trial against the Vice President. It will come to a point na magbubutuhan. At napaka-synchronize naman ng pagkakaaresto. First day of trial ni Vice President, then before the trial started at 2 p.m., nasa kulungan na or nasa custody na ng PNP si Senator Marcoleta. Kumbaga, hindi naman siguro tayo mga mangmang na hindi natin naiintindihan ang politika ng Pilipinas at anong ginagawa ng current administration, especially when you talk about the political opposition and the Duterte side, and even those who are political opponents and political critique per se of the current administration of Marcos Jr. So, kumbaga, obvious yan. All of these are all politics. All of these are all about political persecution, vendetta, vindictiveness of the current administration. Kahit balibalik na rin nila yung mundo, hindi nila yan maididina.
Anong masasabi po ninyo na yung pag-i-issue ng arrest warrant laban kay Senator Marcoleta at iba pa ay timing po sa araw ng impeachment ng unang araw po ng impeachment trial ni VP Sara Duterte?
Very naman yun politically motivated naman talaga ang pagkaka-aresto at pagkaka-file ng plunder case against the good Senator Marcoleta. Very obvious naman yan. Kasi first and foremost, ito muna nga i-address ko kasi this is very important for the public to understand. Even the ombudsman itself, at saka ang sabi nila, it admits na hindi sila sure if Marcoleta commits plunder. So that is so funny, Hindi sila sure if Marcoleta really had committed plunder, but they filed the case and now they arrested him and now he's in custody of the PNP or nasa kulungan na. How? It's only in the Philippines that this happens. You cannot imprison a guy who you don't even know kung totoo o tama ang kaso na final nyo sa kanya. And he even filed a motion to quash or even delay the arrest. Then and then, hindi muna tinignan nila kung may merit ang motion to quash ni Marcoleta. Then and then, dismissed. So it's very obvious this is a political motivated case and they just want him in custody precisely because hindi nila gusto si Marcoleta being in the Senate floor asking the right questions when you talk about the impeachment trial. And of course, when you talk about voting. Kasi at the end of the day, itong impeachment trial that started yesterday already, darating tayo sa point how long it will take or how short it will take the whole proceedings of the impeachment trial against the Vice President. It will come to a point na magbubutuhan. At napaka-synchronize naman ng pagkakaaresto. First day of trial ni Vice President, then before the trial started at 2 p.m., nasa kulungan na or nasa custody na ng PNP si Senator Marcoleta. Kumbaga, hindi naman siguro tayo mga mangmang na hindi natin naiintindihan ang politika ng Pilipinas at anong ginagawa ng current administration, especially when you talk about the political opposition and the Duterte side, and even those who are political opponents and political critique per se of the current administration of Marcos Jr. So, kumbaga, obvious yan. All of these are all politics. All of these are all about political persecution, vendetta, vindictiveness of the current administration. Kahit balibalik na rin nila yung mundo, hindi nila yan maididinay. Kasi hindi lahat ng tao, alam mo yun, maraming Pilipino ang nakakakita nito. But many people will not speak because they just, ayaw nila na, masasubject din sila at natatarget. But come on, this is really the case. It's all politics. It's all about political persecution. Trying, quote-unquote, to send a message to anyone na kapag kayo, you don't toe the line of the current administration or hindi maingay kayo, you expose certain, kind of bad activities or corruption for that matter na ginagawa ng mga allies or ng sangkot or allegedly, ang administration, the president and lahat ng pamilya niya, matutulad kayo kay Senator Marcoleta, matutulad ka kay Bato, which is Senator Bato, nagtatago. ICC naman ang kanyang ang lumahabol sa kanya, yung arrest warrant, and even Jinggoy. So, ang tingin ko rin dito, to be very frank, Admar, at saka Jade, hindi ito yung last. Habang doon nagpo-proceed ang impeachment trial, they will try to shrink the denominator in terms of the composition of the Senate that is present on the floor kapag nakaka-attend ng impeachment trial ni Vice President. Ganito talaga to. Only in the Philippines that a senator, a sitting senator of the republic elected by the people, number 5 ata si Senator Marcoleta when it comes to ranking last 2025 midterm election, is in jail right now for a case that the ombudsman filed in Sandigan Bayan that they are not even sure if it constitute what you call plunder. And take note, plunder is non-bailable. So ibig sabihin, hindi siya makakalabas dun sa kulungan hanggang hindi natatapos yung kaso. Hindi rin natin alam kung hanggang kailan matatapos ang kaso kasi sa Pilipinas, kapag pagong ang justice system natin, lalo na kung iipitin at uupuan yung case. At saka very obvious why it is political. Take a look at this. Pag political opponent ng current administration, parang thunderbolts, parang lightning. File yung kaso ng Friday, Monday, aresto na. Pero kapag aliado nila, parang we're still building up the case or there's no case build up yet. Ang daming mga etche-bureche, lalala. Look at Romualdez. Where's Romualdez right now? Wala daw, hindi daw ma-establish yung direct link ng accusation and allegations. Ang dami-dami. Bunuan is now a state witness. For God's sake. You see, this is really selective justice, which is injustice, and at the same time, this is all about political persecution of the political opponents of the current administration. That's very glaring.
Opo. Prof, kahapon ay nilinaw po at inihayag ng bagong itinalagang presiding officer ng Senate Impeachment Court, si Senator Senator Judge o Presiding Officer Cheese Escudero na 16 votes ang kailangan para makonvict po si Vice President Sara Duterte. Sa tingin po ninyo, sa kasalukuyan pong komposisyon ngayon ng bagong majority, meron pa silang makukumbinsing lumipat mula sa minority at ang pattern na gagamitin ay tulad po nitong nangyari kay Senator Jinggoy at Senator Marcoleta?
Maganda ang tanong mo, Jade, at medyo nag-ano lang yung internet ko pero I hope na naririnig ako clearly. Importante
Yes po.
marinig.
Yes, narinig po.
Okay, ganito. Maganda na I was really happy to know na at least the Senator Judge Presiding Officer Escudero said na 16 ang kailangan mo to convict the Vice President based on the Constitution. Kasi kahit balik-balik na rin natin ang mundo, constitutionally talaga, ang Senate is composed of 24 senators. Si Bato, si Jinggoy, at saka si Senator Marcoleta, kahit yan nasa kulungan or nagtatago, at the end of the day, they're still senator because they are presumed innocent before proven guilty. And that does not make them, that does not erase the fact na senator and elected by the people of the republic, ang mga to, kahit na nasasakdal sila at the moment and they're defending themselves before the court. And ito namang si Senator Bato ay nagtatago pa. Pero at the end of the day, that does not erase the fact that they are senators still. Malinaw ang Constitution, 24 ang composition ng Senate, and 2/3 of that will be needed to convict a high-ranking official like the Vice President. So, malinaw yan. Sinabi naman yan ni Senator Escudero, and you need 9 to acquit the Vice President from the Senator Judge's votes. So, yan, malinaw yan. But one thing though that we have to know, and nagbigay ng caveat si Escudero. Ang sabi niya, this is the based on the Constitution, but it is open to debate. And they will still be debating on it in a matter of time because there are people saying na hindi naman daw sinabi ang crucial point ng kailangan tignan ng public, ng Filipino public diyan. May sinasabi kasi na the only people na makakaboto sa impeachment trial or whatsoever is yung mga senator judges na present sa Senate proceeding at nandun sa Senate session hall. Yun yung sinasabi na or impeachment court. So yung issue na yan, kailangan bantayan niya ng mga Pilipino kasi baka i-twist nila yan, i-circumvent nila yan at gumawa sa mga technicality, and even then they will say, the Senate will change, impeachment court will change its rules, and pagbubutuhan nila yan. Ngayon, kung titignan mo, ang composition ng Senate, when you talk about minority and majority, the other side, which is the admin-allied, majority block, is still majority block. So, yan ay isang bagay na kailangan tutukan ng mga Pilipino kasi baka magkaroon ng hocus-pocus dyan. On the other hand, kung mayroong pang maglilipatan, of course, I would always presume, given that critical itong impeachment trial ni VP, it has something to do with 2028, it has something to do with the political future of the Vice President Sara Duterte, and definitely vindictive at ang ultimate goal talaga ng impeachment trial are two very important things that the Filipino people should understand. First is to remove the Vice President. And pag na-remove siya, ang gusto nila is to impose some kind of sanction for her not to be able to run anymore for any public office after the impeachment. If in any case, ang ruling is conviction. So pwede nilang iyan ipasok at at the same time, ang pwede pa nilang gawin is they can file criminal charges against the Vice President after the impeachment trial, if in any case she will be convicted. Yan ang tatlong possibility. Kasi ang acquittal, wala. Remain in office and she can run. So yun ang tatlo. On the other hand, yun ang kanilang objective. And many of this, the prosecution, many of our politicians who are not on the side of the Vice President, they want this to happen. So paano makukuha yan? Paano yung mangyayari? Of course, you need the numbers. Right now, they don't have the numbers yet, but they will try to get that number by before sa butuhan na mangyayari, which would maybe 3 months to 4 months or 7 months according to Gatchalian from now. So, definitely, kung tatanungin mo ako, if they will be maneuvering para makakuha ng votes at makuha nila yung threshold na kailangan nila to convict the Vice President, they will do it. At marami pa sa senator allied na ito nasa medyo align with the Vice President ang pwedeng marami pang mangyayari, either mawawala yung isang senator sa pagiging senador niya, which is na-inform ako there's a plot against the Senator Amy Marcos, sa COMELEC naman siya titirahin. I don't know if it's true, but it came to me. And then the other one is marami pa dyan, pressure points on the other senators, like for example, the likes of the Villars. And there are pressure points kasi sa mga senador, even dun sa mga politically aligned with the Vice President. So ito yung mga bagay na posibleng mangyari habang umuusad ang impeachment trial. The other strategy, kasi alam mo ano ang kanilang strategy, is to shrink the denominator, meaning the members of the Senate who can attend present physically in the Senate trial. Kasi kapag shrink mo yon, let us say 21 na lang sila, times 2/3, liliit kasi ang numero na kailangan mo to convict. And now they have 13, I think. So, pag lumiit pa yan, they will be able to get the 14 na 2/3 and they will be able to convict the Vice President. So ito yung mga strategy na nababasa ko sa kabila. And of course, we need to be very, we need to read it politically speaking, because the whole impeachment process, even the starting point of the impeachment process from 2025 until now, these are all politics. Let's not kid ourselves that this is all about accountability, because if it's only about accountability, they should have filed and the current president should be in the same trial at the moment, kasi you have a lot of allegations against him and his family and his allies and even the administration itself regarding massive corruption in government. But look, it's not the same. So ano bang pinagsasabi ni Representative Luis Tro na chuchu, it's a constitutional blah blah blah. For God's sakes, hindi tayo mangmang. Hindi lahat ng Pilipino mangmang. It's glaringly a politically motivated crucifixion of the Vice President, political crucifixion of the Vice President. They want her reputation, they want her image and everything about her to be destroyed in public. That's another objective of the whole impeachment proceeding. Kaya ang una nilang itatackle today is Article 4 of the impeachment trial, precisely because they want to paint her as someone who is crazy. They want to paint the vice president as crazy, does not know how to think, who just say la la la. Kaya Article 1 ang una nilang i-adjudicate ngayong araw na to. Yung video na kung ano na may sinabi si VP. So yan ang una nila, the objective there really, to be frank, politically speaking, is to paint her as someone who does not have the right brain, crazy, luka-luka na tao, ganyan-ganyan. Yan ang kanilang gagawin. To be very honest, ganun ang strategy. So yeah, that's the whole point of this whole proceeding of the impeachment trial. I just want to be very straightforward and frank kasi ayoko na, napapagod na ako sa kaka-package into a politically correct na mga bagay na hindi naman politically correct ang nangyayari sa Pilipinas in the very first place.
Opo, bago ko lang ipasa kay Partner Admar, Prof, sinasabi po ng nasa prosecution na may tuturing daw nilang tagumpay ang naganap na impeachment trial dahil sa matagal na panahon ay natuloy na nga itong impeachment trial kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ano bang tingin po ninyo, lalo na po nung unang araw po ng impeachment trial?
Well, the first day of the impeachment trial, to be very frank and to be fair naman kay Senator Judge Escudero and being the Senate being the presiding officer, he was able to conduct orderly and properly the whole proceeding on the first day. That I can give him. He really knows how to handle the parliamentary procedure when you talk about these things. Maganda naman nangyari kasi from the start until the end of the whole trial yesterday, nanonood ako, sinusubaybayan ko. On the other hand naman, kung nagtagumpay itong mga to, Diyos ko Lord, well, as far as they're concerned, nagtagumpay naman talaga sila. Talaga naman, Diyos ko, ang laki ng pera na binuhos dyan sa matuloy lang itong impeachment trial, no, from 2025 until now. So as far as they're concerned, of course they will say na matagumpay kasi they get what they want. Now the vice president is on trial. So well, ganoon ang kanilang i-claim. Pero ang tanong kasi dyan, to be very honest, Jade and Admar, ang tanong dyan, nagtagumpay ba ang Pilipinas? Another political scandal is there? This is another source of political instability in the country? Is it really a victory for the Philippines? Really? And we are now again on the spotlight in terms of the whole world looking at us and what's happening to the Philippines? Is this victory for the Philippines? That the whole world is looking at us na, wow, the Philippines again is having this political scandal. It's like one after the other. My God, wala nang news sa international level kundi nagkaroon ng rally because of massive corruption in government, mababa ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas, tumaas ang peso, walang investors na pumapasok, mayroon impeachment trial, may nakulong na senador pero ang plunder case niya ay hindi naman sigurado kung plunder nga ba o hindi. These are all the news internationally. Do you really think it's a victory for the Filipino people and for the country? My God!
Opo, Prof, siguro isang tanong lang po, no? Napag-uusapan natin yung nagiging imahe ngayon ng Pilipinas sa mundo, no? Kasi hindi ito first time na nagkaroon din ng impeachment kay Vice President. Umusad lang po siya ngayong taon. At isama na rin po natin yung mga kaganapan kaugnay dito sa mga senador na naaakusahan at nakukulong at particular na dito doon sa mga nagiging kritiko talaga ng kasalukuyang administrasyon. Parang magiging walang silbi ba kahit na pupunta ng ibang bansa ang Pangulo dahil sa pangyayaring ito? Makakahimok pa ba siya ng mga mamumuhunan dito or aantayin na lang na mag-stabilize po yung mga ganitong issue na nagaganap ngayon sa ating bansa?
To be very frank, kahit pa saan pumunta lupalop ng mundo si BBM, kung ang nakikita ng mga ibang nationalities and the whole world, that the country is unstable politically, that even his leadership is being criticized extremely, that his trust rating and approval rating is below 15. Negative 15, for God's sake, he's still in power. And negative 15 na, 2 taon pa siya, or roughly 2 years. Negative 15 na, at matagal nang negative ang kanyang trust rating and approval rating. Tapos mayroon kang gitgitan na politika, nag-aaway-away, alang dami. Ang domestic issues is too much, especially politically speaking. His administration is accused of many things, especially corruption in government. The people are suffering. Everything is so expensive. Do you really think, really think, I will ask this question to everyone. Do you really think a serious investor na nasa tamang pag-iisip will invest in the Philippines with all of this? Of course not. Wala. Well, he was in Canada and there were negotiations between Canada and the Philippines. At saka may dalawa yung aspeto nun based on my checking of the news. Mayroon kang economic na mga pledges coming from Canada, especially when you talk about I think mayroon energy and others, of course trade. But these are pledges, commitment. Wala pa yan. Hindi mo alam kung papasok yan o hindi. Of course, the investors, businessmen, Pilipinas man yan, o mapalabas ng Pilipinas, ang lagi nilang tinitignan, una, index to think if you will invest in a country is first and foremost if the political climate is stable. Now, kung hindi stable yan and then you have massive corruption in government, apektado yan sila. So they will rethink if they will invest in the country. So that's one. Ang napag-usapan lang ata sa Canada na medyo feeling ko itutuloy ng Canada is yung defense and security cooperation because Canada wants to be wants to have a role in the Indo-Pacific geopolitically speaking. That one I think will push through. But that's defense, that's not economic. What the Philippines needs right now is to have economic investors in the country, financial investor in the country, infrastructure development. We need foreign investors for that. But no, it's not happening, to be frank. Ano na ba ang utang ng Pilipinas? 18 plus trillion? And what is the exchange rate? 61 ang dollars to a peso? For God's sake. We're floating as an economy because of our OFWs. Tapos ginawa tayong middle income country. Tapos naghihirap ang buong Pilipinas. Mataas ang inflation mo, mababa ang growth mo. That's 2.2 of GDP. For God's sake. And even ang hunger problem mo mataas. Ang inflation, food inflation is too high. Come on. So, do you really think a serious investor will, a foreign investor na malalaki, seryoso, and they want to stay in the country, mag-i-invest sa Pilipinas? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So, ang kailangan kasi sa isang bansa para ang investment climate mo maging attractive is you have to have a very stable political situation. That is not present in the Philippines for the longest time. At lalong gugulo pa yan at lalong magkakaroon pa ng political instability habang umuusad itong tinatawag ng impeachment trial ng Vice President at habang maraming political persecution na nangyayari na ginagawa ng administration against its political critics. Ganon talaga ang totoo dyan. Imagine, katatapos lang ng impeachment trial, RT already called me to be interviewed in their international program. It was an international, coverage of many issues. Tayo ang una. Hindi muna nga, dun sa RT interview ko last night at 6 o'clock in the evening after the impeachment, hindi inuna nga ang conflict ng sa Iran at ang conflict sa Ukraine na ito ay talagang world events na tinitignan ng buong mundo. Inuna tayo, alam mo, we're the first headline. We're the headline in the international news of RT. And that was world news. For God's sake, ibig sabihin, maraming bansa ang tumututok sa Pilipinas kung ano nangyayari sa atin. And that is not really a victory for the Philippines. Siguro sa mga tulad ng prosecution victory. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm a Filipino, that is not a victory. That is putting us on the spotlight and that's very shameful. Kasi wala nang nangyari sa Pilipinas kundi gulo. Political gulo, one after the other. Ito talaga ang problema sa Pilipinas. So, kung tatanungin mo ako kung kailan yan magkakaroon ng stability, probably when we have a more decent and a more competent government. And I don't know when would it happen because I even don't know if we will have 2028 election in the next roughly 2 years from now. So that's my answer to your question, Admar.
Opo.
Yeah.
Prof, huli na lang. Sabi mo nga kanina, headline po tayo
Sobra.
abroad. Oo. Lalo na kung sakali magdadalo po si Vice President Sara Duterte, advantage po ba yun o disadvantage po para sa kanya?
It's two things though. Sa akin kasi dalawa yan eh. But I would believe that the current the defense team of the vice president at the vice president, they have their own strategy. And whatever that strategy may be, I respect that. Really, truly. Kasi alam nila ang ground situation, alam nila kung ano yung mga kaso at alam nila kung ano yung dapat nilang gawin. And alam din nila of course yung strategy ng prosecution. On my side, it's within the constitutional right of the Vice President not to appear but to be represented by her counsel. Malino naman yon. Binasa yun ni Attorney Sheila kahapon at sinabi yun. Pero kung ako lang kasi ang tatanungin, kung ako lang, opinion ko lang, gusto ko siyang mag-appear but not necessarily, to answer question and all throughout the proceeding, but just to have an opening statement in that Senate trial saying what she needs to say and say, okay, goodbye and let my defense counsel will handle everything na. Parang ganun lang na appearance, but not necessarily to be there all throughout the process because I think the vice president's time is important to do her work as vice president. Anyway, she can be represented by her counsel and at the same time she can work because she has a work to do as a vice president. So I think the most important for the vice president is to work. Given the impeachment trial, I know the pressure is too high. And I know it's not easy for her right now. Everything is just not easy for the vice president. But I think she's strong enough, and I think she needs to focus on her responsibility to the Filipino people, and that's to deliver what she needs to deliver and work for the Filipino people, even if the impeachment trial is ongoing. Ganon ang tingin ko. So bahala na yung defense team, and I think she's connected naman. Nagbi-meeting naman yan sila ng defense team, I'm sure. So sila, andyan naman yan eh. Pero kung ako lang tatanungin mo, if I want to see her, yeah, I want to see her in the impeachment court trial, but not necessarily to go through the whole proceeding, but just to deliver a very spicy and a very sharp statement for the whole world to see and for the whole Philippines to hear. So mas ganun ang gusto ko do. Yeah.